First at 5, a robbery suspect is on the loose and police need your help to capture him. Why the crimes could be linked.
Plus, the recalls continue. What other Bluebell product has been pulled from the shelves for causing illness?
And what council members have asked the final 4 Abilene City Manager candidates to present for the interview. Abilene's local news starts right now.
From Abilene's first television station, your news in your community. This is KRBC, Abilene's local news at 5.
Good evening, I'm Dane Murray.
And I'm Randy Turner. Just in today at 5 o'clock, we have reports of a massive power outage in South Abilene. According to AEP Texas, the power outage began at South 27th and Treadaway. It appears to be moving to the south. We have reports that about 1,700 customers are without power. There are also reports that the Mall of Abilene is being evacuated.
KRBC has crews in the area and will bring you more reports as they become available. Right now, we do not know what caused the massive loss of power.
Well, the search continues for a suspect allegedly involved in 2 separate aggravated robberies. According to police, a woman had her purse stolen at gunpoint at the Hartford Place Apartments. The victim did not have any money in the purse, but after it was stolen, she canceled all of her credit cards. A short time later, another victim was held at gunpoint, robbed of his wallet. This time, it was 2 men who approached the male victim. Police found the wallet where the first victim's property was found. According to the incident report, the suspect was a black male wearing dark clothing with a handgun.
All right, Randy, those storms you've been talking about are going to be here soon, is that right?
They're out in West Texas at least developing, so it'd be a few hours, but a potential for some thunderstorms a little bit later on this evening. As we have a look right now at 3D Live Radar, it's all quiet in the big country, and we've got the satellite radar showing you some rain and storms that moved through the area a bit earlier this afternoon. Skies have remained cloudy in behind that first system, and the clouds have actually helped diminish the threat for severe weather until now. But the dry line out in West Texas may help develop more storms that would move into our area just a little bit later on this evening, but before 10 p.m. Here is a look at 3D Live Radar for you right now. We have showers east of Brownwood, activity continuing to move off to the north and east. No watches or warnings here in the big country right now, but just north of the big country area, there is a tornado watch until midnight tonight. Slight risk of severe storms across the northern big country tonight, including Haskell, Jones, Knox, Stonewall, and Throckmorton counties, but the rest of the area is in a marginal risk for a few strong or severe storms for tonight. Here's your day planner for tomorrow. 66 tomorrow morning with a slight chance for some morning storms. Partly cloudy most of the day tomorrow, then a high near 86 with a few afternoon storms also possible. Dane?
Thank you, Randy. Bluebell is expanding its list of product recalls after an infection sickened many people. The Texas-based ice cream company temporarily closed down its facility in Broken Arrow, Oklahoma, after the bacteria infection Listeria was found in some of their products. The FDA is investigating the situation. Banana pudding ice cream pints have now been added to the recall list after they tested positive for a bacteria called monocytogenes. The company is already recalling 7 other products made at the plant which tested positive for the same bacteria. According to the FDA, Listeria is a rare but serious illness. Symptoms include fever and muscle aches, diarrhea or other gastrointestinal symptoms, and symptoms can appear from a few days up to a few weeks after consumption of the contaminated food.
Police have identified the suspect who was captured after he pointed a weapon at 2 victims earlier this week. According to police, the man drove away from the scene but was captured shortly after. Scott Simpson was arrested for the crime that happened in the 1700 block of Elmdale Road on Monday. According to police, a Jeep pulled up next to a man riding his bike and started screaming profanities. Simpson then pulled out a gun in the victim's direction. The victim states that he put his hands up and the driver of the Jeep slowly drove away. Police tell KRBC that the suspect threw the handgun out of the Jeep to hide the evidence. Simpson is in the Taylor County Jail on bonds totaling $60,000. He was charged with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon and tampering with evidence.
Another suspect has been arrested in connection with a Colorado City shooting. 3 people are now behind bars in connection to the murder of Cornelius DeMore Wingate. The New Braunfels Police Department arrested 42-year-old Joseph Jason Ibarra today on a charge of first-degree felony murder. According to a media release, arrangements are being made to extradite Ibarra to Mitchell County. 2 other suspects have already been arrested in connection with the murder. 28-year-old Heather Rosanna Wilburn and 23-year-old Justin Carl McGowan are both in the Mitchell County Jail charged with first-degree murder as well. According to police, Wingate was shot on the 100 block of West Point Avenue around 4 a.m. Thursday morning. He was transported to the Mitchell County Hospital where he was pronounced dead. People who live close by describe the scene as complete chaos. The case is being investigated by the Mitchell County Sheriff's Office.
In your Texas report this afternoon, the police department in Austin is putting the brakes on supplying its officers with body cameras. Several recent police shootings involving unarmed suspects have prompted nationwide calls for officers to wear body cameras. Many advocacy groups say requiring officers to record video of all police confrontations may help end racial profiling and protect citizens. And many law enforcement experts believe the cameras can also protect police officers. But Austin officials say it's a major policy change that requires study and debate. Members of Austin's Public Safety Commission are concerned about how to pay for the new technology.
Anything that helps us show the picture of what actually happened, we think is very beneficial to the citizen, to the officer, and the public. I'd rather take our time to do this and make sure it's right than lose the confidence in the citizens that when we really needed it, it didn't work.
Some members also voiced concerns about privacy issues for officers, suspects, victims, and witnesses. The Texas State Legislature is currently debating legislation that could set statewide regulations and supply funding for body cameras.
It's make it or break it for the final 4 city manager candidates as they await the interview process coming up tomorrow. The candidates were out and about taking a tour of the city as council members began the final steps in choosing the right person for the leadership position. On the agenda for tomorrow, the candidates will sit in during the city council meeting before starting the 1-hour interview. According to Strategic Government Resourcing, the hiring service, the interviews will last about an hour each, in which time the candidates will present the council with a 1-year plan they have put together if appointed city manager. And moving down south to the stable boom in Brownwood, the city continues to bring in more outside businesses as well as hometown growth. 2 new supermarkets are set to open up, along with a couple of small downtown shops. The slump in oil prices doesn't seem to affect the steady influx of businesses because of the city's diverse industry base. One Brownwood city leader says it's important to keep up with the variety of amenities for locals.
We have to be competitive because in order for people to move from a more metro area, we have to show that we have those amenities that they appreciate and enjoy in a larger city. We may not have as many to choose from, but as long as we have some selection for them, I believe that that's important in them making that decision to relocate.
And she says that the future looks bright for Brownwood and they will continue to work with their industries that are already there and hopefully see new ones arrive.
Now, your first alert forecast with Chief Meteorologist Randy Turner.
Still the potential for thunderstorms later on this evening and tonight. Let's get right to your weather headlines. A few thunderstorms this afternoon and tonight. The main threats from any storms will be large hail, damaging wind, and then we'll have a slight chance for some thunderstorms on Thursday as well. And it looks like tomorrow it will mainly be for the eastern and southern counties of the big country. So those are your headlines. Well, let's see what the moisture content in the low levels of the atmosphere looks like. It looks pretty good. We've got 50s and lots of 60s out there. That is Gulf of Mexico moisture, which you need. That at least is one of the ingredients that we need for some thunderstorm activity. We need something to instigate all of it. We have a dry line off to the west of us. It's beginning to produce some thunderstorms up here just to the northwest of Snyder. That's Garza County, the Post area, and some more thunderstorms trying to form out there in southwest Texas. And then we need something to really kind of break the cap in the atmosphere, that lid of warm air that's holding down thunderstorm development. And this is one thing that can do that, although it's well north of us. A little bit of the upper level lifting from that storm system is starting to come into Texas, and also we have southwest disturbances coming in too. So all of those factors combining to give us at least a chance for some thunderstorms this evening. Some showers have popped up down here in Coleman County, very, very light. We have off to the west some storms building up on the Cap Rock at this time, but here in the Big Country not much going on. Also far southwest Texas out around Crane, a few little thunderstorms trying to build. Off to the north of us, not including the Big Country, a tornado watch until midnight tonight. Current conditions 82 degrees at Dyess Air Force Base, south wind at 21, south wind at 17 out at the airport, also 82 degrees. This is the warmest we've been so far today. Around the rest of the area, you'll notice the temperatures in the eastern Big Country stayed in the 70s today. There's been more cloud cover and some rain in that area this afternoon, but Abilene west and northwest and southwest temperatures are in the low to middle 80s at this time. Here, quick look at the temperatures around the rest of the state. Clouds and rain right here in this portion of the state, limiting the warm-up some, but out there to the west, it's plenty warm for those thunderstorms to develop. Southeast winds between 10 and 20 miles per hour all across the Big Country here at this time. So here's what's going to be taking place. Again, we have our dry line. We have a surface cold front out in New Mexico. As we go through this evening, a few storms expected. By tomorrow morning, the cold front off to the northwest of the Big Country, and it will slowly make its way through the area in the afternoon. By late tomorrow afternoon, if we see any thunderstorms, should be along the front, Brownwood over towards Waco, somewhere in that area for storms to build, and then a few clouds around. But then we get to Friday, and we'll see clouds return to the area and maybe some showers coming up from the south on Friday. Here's a closer look at 9:30 tonight. Our RPM forecast model says thunderstorms will be moving into the Big Country by that time, so we'll keep an eye on it, see if that can actually take place. We definitely have that 30% chance of thunderstorms in the forecast for tonight. Low temperature 66, some storms severe. Windy conditions, south wind at 15 to 20. For tomorrow, 86 your high temperature. We have a slight chance for some thunderstorms. Warm and breezy, though, for most of the day. And any storm chance would be limited to our southeastern counties tomorrow evening. Southwest wind tomorrow, westerly, and then northwesterly as the day goes along. Here's a look at your 7-day weather forecast. Just a slight chance for some thunderstorms tomorrow in our outlook, and that is at 20%. Much cooler temperatures, though, in store going into Friday with a high of only about 70 degrees. This weekend, temperatures will be in the mid-70s, and we still have that 40% chance of storms Saturday and Sunday. But for tonight, we'll keep an eye to the sky for thunderstorms between now and midnight.
Coming up on First at 5, despite popular belief, baldness isn't just male pattern. How an innovative procedure is helping women combat hair loss and thinning.
And kittens and trees are a breeze compared to an animal rescue the Fresno Fire Department performed. A recap of the amazing feat a little bit later on in the show.
You're watching KRBC, Abilene's local news, with Dane Moray and Chief Meteorologist Randy Turner.